like the word agripreneurs in today's context and how it actually differs from the traditional farming?
Normally, entrepreneur is just someone that can multitask in the area of agriculture. So, and you come out with innovations on the way to do things, and you think what comes to your mind is sustainability. And in the olden days, people don't think about profitability when they do farming. But when you're an agripreneur, all those things seem to come to your mind. That what are the low-hanging fruits? What are the things I can do to make money? So all those things seem to be coming to your mind, and to be able to adopt it into your present situations, you need to look at your lifestyle. Can the current agriculture you are practicing can this sustain, or do you really need to look for the market before you do this? So those are the things that should be coming to agripreneur. That's why it's agripreneur. So you have to check from the market, you have to check from the back end, and you have to look at what you're adding. You have to do your profitability analysis before you go into business. But in the olden days, people don't do it. People just go into farming just as a means of living. So that is the difference between the agripreneur and the way we have been doing farming in the past.
So that means we can say anyone that has the ability to multitask in the agricultural field and that actually ensures that he looks at the market before he even goes into farming and ensure that whatever he wants to do is profitable and sustainable in agriculture, then we can say that person is an agripreneur in today's context. Well, that is a very um, interesting definition. So now, as aside the multitasking aspect of the individual, what other key? Because I believe there should be some key qualities that someone because someone cannot just wake up one morning and say, I'm an entrepreneur because I can multitask or I go to the field. Let me just stand and be helping people. What are the key qualities? I believe there should be some key qualities or maybe some skills that maybe entrepreneurs should have before you can actually say, yes, this person is an entrepreneur in today's context.
Well, as an entrepreneur, you must be passionate about what you are doing. You must not look at the farming business as if you want to make money. You look at it as if you have problem to be solved, that you want to contribute and solve part of the problem in the area of food security or in the area of job employment. You have to look at the problem you want to solve before you can come into the platform, or you can come into the community that you say, yes, you want to be an agripreneur. You can't just come to agripreneur because you just want to do farming. So you can't do farming for farming's sake. You must come into it because you have a particular problem to solve. You have to solve a problem. That's number one. Then you must be passionate about the agriculture itself. So you must be passionate about it that, yes, I really have passion for it and I want to solve a problem. And one thing you realize that when you solve people's problem, people pay for it, you're in business. So that's it. So when you solve people's problem, people pay for it, you're in business. You don't just be a businessman because you want to do business. You are doing business because you have a need and you want to solve a particular problem and you want to create a system that will solve a problem. So that's what some of the quality you need to have and some of the focus thing you need to focus and make sure that you get it done. Yes.
Wow, that is a wonderful insight. So you shouldn't just go into agriculture or decide to venture into agriculture because you want to make money. You should
Yes.
actually identify a problem that you want to solve. So to in other words, to be an agripreneur, you must be a problem solver. And when you solve this problem, then people will pay you for the problem that you are solving, which brings about the profitability part of it and this was. But then, is it easy to just actually identify problems like that? Are there barriers like to entry with respect, even if you maybe you discover the problem, are there still barriers that one would actually encounter or face when actually going into this world of agripreneurship?
You have a lot of barriers. I keep on telling people that agriculture is an unusual business. It's not a business like oil and gas. It's not a business like people who just sit in the office, just make laws, regulatory without knowing what is happening in the field, and they just want to get money at the end of the month. So agriculture is different. Agriculture is what you put in that you get. If you put it right, you get it right and you make money from it. If you do the wrong approach, then you fail, all your effort and everything go in vain. So that's why you have a lot of barrier entering the agriculture. That's why you said before you can go on agriculture, you need to make an informed start. Either you serve as a volunteer or you serve as a mentee to someone who has been doing it before and you understudy what you are trying to do and you understudy the intricacy in the business you are trying to go into. You can't just go into agriculture that you say it's just for you to clear land and plant. What are the expected planting population you're supposed to have? Like take cassava for instance. If you want to get it right, you need to have like almost between 12 to 15,000 stand per hectare. So the moment you fall short of that, then you are not making it. And those are the things you can just read, but when you read about it, it's not easy for you to translate. So they say you can't learn how to ride a bicycle by reading a book. So it's difficult. You can't learn how to do farming by just say you want to read about farming and that's all, and you don't go and do farming. No, farming goes beyond that. So those are all those steps that one need to really take before you can go into farming and before you can say, okay, you want to be a farmer and you want to do X, Y, Z. So you might have actually done it before, then you are trying to scale it up. You just say you want to go into farming. Some people say, well, I want to go into farming. Some people are looking for even 10,000 hectares. Some people are looking for even 1,000 hectares. And some of them don't even know the meaning of hectares, acreages. Maybe they thought acreages is just like maybe one plot.
One plot.
So when I do tell people that, do you know the meaning of acreage you are talking about? If you say you want almost 1,000 hectares, do you really have the money to clear even 100 hectares? Do you really have the money to clear just 10 hectares? So those are the informed situations that people need to learn before they go into it, and that's what people fail. And you need to have at the back of your mind that it's not just going to the farm and plant. The first thing you need to do on the farm is how to do land development, land clearing. So if you don't get your land clearing done properly, you are bound to fail. So one thing people need to do is get the land clearing done properly. Then you get passed. I can see that a lot of governments, a lot of people are buying tractors, buying tractors, buying tractors. It's not about buying tractors. If you buy tractors, at the end of the day, you are going to fail. What are the things you need to do before you buy tractors? Are you going to just buy tractor and put the tractor on land that did not develop well? So those are all those things you need to do. How best you know how to develop will determine the kind of tractor you are going to use and to determine the result you are going to get. After land development, the land preparation depends on the kind of crops you are planting. So we have different land preparation depends on the kind of crops you are planting. So all those ones are matters that yes, I need to do this X, Y, Z. So those are all those things that you need to learn before you go into farm. So there's a lot of things. For farming is like reading a book, one chapter after another, one chapter after another. When you read it, you go and practicalize it. When you read it, you go and practicalize it. But people sitting in the office, they're just making policies for farmers and all those things. It won't work. So that's what I need to say about it.
Wow, I actually have follow-up questions from everything that you said. But then, this is actually a live session which is currently on Zoom. So you can join us live on Zoom and ask your question in the comment section. We are going to ask Farmer Niji those questions and you'll get your solutions to your agri-business challenges. So following up on what you said, sir, you mentioned about mentorship from one of your statements. Now, how does an agripreneur actually, succeed? Like, what's actually the role of mentors in the success of an agripreneur?
The role of mentor is that when you want to enter agriculture, you are coming with a different mindset. Maybe you are living in Lagos life before on the island and you want to go into agriculture. So you have to drop the mindset of your Lagos mentality and everything, and to actually tailor your lifestyle with the system around. We have different lifestyle, you can still live better lifestyle, but not exactly the lifestyle you are living. Look at your own lifestyle that you really need to work on and to bring down. Very important. Your lifestyle need to actually tailor with the lifestyle of the environment you want to do farming. That's number one. Then the kind of crops that you want to grow, do you really have market for it? Can your mentor share the market for you, or can he share the processes information with you? So those are all those things you need to learn in one after the other about the sustainability of what you are doing, the time to plant, what you need to do, the kind of herbicide insecticide you need to do, the kind of stagger planting you need to. So there's a lot of things that you need to learn when it comes to that. That's why you need a mentor, or you need to volunteer when it comes to area of farming.
Wow, that's a lot. If you are actually joining us for the very first time, this show is a breakfast with Niji, and on this show we actually discuss farmers' challenges and we provide sustainable solutions to farmers' problem. So if you have any question or any challenges that you are facing on your farm and you do not know what to do about it, or you've even tried and you have not been able to get any solution, you can come on this show and you ask the question, and based on his experience, of course he has over 30 decades, 3 decades of experience. He's more knowledgeable to help you provide this solution. So thank you very much, sir, for the insight. We have a question currently, and someone is asking that, sir, how can a farmer or an agribusiness person scale? How can a farmer or an agribusiness person scale? Is it possible we scale our farm without crowdfunding, or is there a better way to get agricultural friendly investments, or can we really grow without other people's money?
Yeah, yeah, you can scale up your business, but I won't advise you to look for crowdfunding. So crowdfunding has put in a lot of people into difficult situations. Me, I never attract any crowdfunding, and I'm growing. So if you really want to scale up your farm, you need to do what we call demand driven. Go and look for where demand of your product is. Who are the people that need your products? Show them that you can do X, Y, Z, so that you can give them the product cheaper than what they are getting in the market. So you use demand driven. So mostly what I do is to do demand driven. I use demand to scale up. So once you use demand to scale up, it's more easier for you to scale up. And once you produce and the market takes it up, then you reinvest the money back to the business. But the problem in agriculture is that a lot of people, when they see the money, they don't reinvest back to the business. So if you have someone that really understands agribusiness and they want to partner with you, it's better. But you don't partner with people that just want to put money into business, agriculture, because they want to make profit. So you people are promising the profit that you cannot make. So that's number one. So you have to look at the market, study the market, look at your cost of production, look at the real profit that you can make, and then share the template with the person that want to fund you. Well, that one is better. But collecting people's money and promising them some of the fund or some of the profit that you cannot even make on your own is out of it. So there's a lot of things that has gone wrong in the area of agriculture. But if you want to scale up, look for the land to scale up. Look for the crop that is as much as easily and easier for you to scale up. It's not all the crops or all the farming this thing that you can scale up. If you over scale up and you don't have the skill, the weed will take over your farm. It's not about just land development, land preparation that you need. Weed management is one of the most essential key factor in agribusiness. So if you scale up, you don't have enough staffing to actually manage your weed management. That's another thing. If you scale up, you don't really have enough hand to do your harvesting, so you can lose. So there's a lot of areas that you can lose. That's why I say scaling up is more easy. You can specialize on different aspects of agriculture and form a partnership with other people, or a kind of a, a group, a farming group or a community group that you people can use to scale up. So you render services for one another. So that one is more easy for you to scale up than only you doing it, and you attract a lot of funding. The farm hand is another difficult thing that people cannot easily be get now. So scaling up, you can do demand driven. So thank you.
All right, thank you. I think this person actually is also asking about like agricultural friendly investment. How about, can you recommend all these in Nigeria we have a Bank of Agriculture and all that that actually supports funding for agribusinesses? Is it an option for someone that actually needs money for scaling up?
Well, to my own, no, I won't actually advise, because some of the funding that are actually meant for agriculture, to me, I don't see them as friendly. You go through a lot before you get it, until the government set up another system specially designed to actually support uh, farming. So that's the only thing that can work. They need to look at the system that will support farming. But the current system they have now that to support farming is not, to me, is not the best. This thing. So I can't take it. So I can't ask, or I can't advise other people to say go and take it, because that's number one. Because some lending are for 1 year, and some crops are more than 1 year. So are they going to extend some of the crops that are more than 1 year? Like cassava is more than 1 year. When you look at the land development, land preparation, planting, harvesting, it's getting to almost like 18 months to 2 years. So, and when you lend the money for almost per annum, so that means you have to pay 2 cycles in order for you to harvest one. So they need to sit down with the farmer to do a tailored financing that will be able to help farmers to be able to utilize the money. And they need to look for a genuine farmer. There's a lot of youth who are really struggling to be a farmer, but they are not getting support. They are tired. So they are tired. So the government should look at how to develop another funding. All those funding that are there, they are not meant for farmers. You want to lend farmers money, you are talking of 1 million. You're talking of 2 million. It's 1 million, 2 million is no money now. So if you are talking about you want to lend farmer money, you're talking about almost 20 million, 50 million. Then you see that with the real farmer, 100 million, see that the real farmer who can work on it or form a group to access the money, then you'll be able to utilize it well. But all the money available, 1 million, 2 million to do farming, that one cannot go anywhere. So thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Before this person asks his question, we were talking about, you were actually explaining about mentorship and all that. So I want to ask you specifically, do you have a mentor? Like, do you have a mentor when you were during your early days? And I don't know if you even still have a mentor as of now.
That's a big question. You know, when I wanted to start, I was looking for someone to share my idea with, someone to look forward to. So, but what I'm doing, the person I could say my mentor, they have not done it in this way. So my mentor happens to be my father. So that's the person I can say I look up to when I was small. But when you look at the way the things have been done, you will say, no, I don't want to be a farmer in my life because it's tedious. So when we want to start, we are looking at ourselves that we need to clear the road for other people. So I look at way things have been done in other countries. So that's the people I look up to say if they can do it this way, we can do it the same way in Nigeria. So that's why people like us go all the way out to see that we get things done the way it's been done abroad. But in Nigeria, I cannot say this social person is my mentor in Nigeria. No, I cannot say. Apart from when I was growing up, I see my father, and what I learned from my father is hard work. That you need to just be consistent on what you do and make sure you do it well. And don't do things because other people are looking at you. Do things because you like doing it, and do it because you want to achieve and you want to make and you want to get a result. So that's it. So you need to be consistent in what you are doing, and you need to do it passionately, and don't do things because people are watching you, or don't do things because you want people to look at what you are doing. Do it because you like how you are doing it, because you like it. You want to make a statement and you are doing it, and you want to do it right, and you don't want anybody to correct you in what you are doing, and you need to do it the best of your knowledge that no, if anybody see what you have done it well. And if you look at my lifestyle, when it comes from engineering, fabrication of equipment, I think I have one of the best equipment in Africa. So when you look at my family, the way I do my farming, I think I have one of the best farming practice in what I do. And when you look at different things I do, I do it well for people to value for money and for people to enjoy whatever the partnership have with them. So that's it.
Wow, thank you so much, sir, for these great insights. But I want to also ask from, can we say that your, I know you have a strong, engineering background, and I think that's where you actually started from in this agribusiness journey. So can we say that the educational system has actually given you a huge leverage as a foundation for your agricultural journey?
Yeah, thank you. That's one of the main supports. That's one of the main supports that I got. So when you look at the educational system I went through, so I went through a good intensive system of education from my secondary to my technical, from my technical to my TTS, the training. So, and those are really intensive training that you have to do it right, and you know how to do it, and you get the result on that. So, all those things really helped in stages that before you leave school, you can do things on your own, and you can actually make money from your own before you leave school. So, when I left school, working with UAC, working with Guinness, working with flour maize, it's just for me to just have the experience of how it's being done in the multinational world, not just because I want to stay there, because I believe I can do something on my own better. And that's what we are lacking in Nigeria. So the kind of education system we have is education system that will train you on how to just work. You are not competent when you even come out of school. So educational system in Nigeria is by cramming what other people have done. You cram it well, and you now want to write it the way it's been done. No, we need to change a lot of things. There's a lot of things you can get in Google. Why are you cramming them? There's a lot of things you can get on ChatGPT. Why are you? So we need to change the system of education in Nigeria to be more proactive, to be more sustainable. Sustainability education, that's what we're supposed to be teaching people, not just to be cramming some things that are not relevant and not even useful for the generation. It is this one and generation coming. So it's a mess. So government should look at the kind of educational system they want to introduce to the system. If truly they want to make changes, it is one of the foundation that we need to do. So the education I received actually helped me to be self-sustained and to be able to multitask and to be able to think on how to solve people's problem.
Wow, you've gone through different stages and different series of education. But now looking at, yes, we know we have the Nigerian problem thing, but can Niji Group actually provide this education to people today?
Well, it's not about me providing education for people. It's about me supporting the system. I believe you can actually work for people to see how things are being done. So, so that's it. If people want to know, I can give them the support and everything to say, okay, this is how it's been done and this is how we need to do it. I think the policy of government should go in towards right from secondary school. They need to introduce a proper agriculture in secondary school. All the tertiaries, they need to use all their lands to do agriculture. All the police land they are not using, they need to pass a policy that they need to turn into agric land. All the army barracks and army quarters that they have for land they are not using, they need to do it. And the government need to do a policy on land banking, that we call it land banking initiatives. So government need to understand and they know all the available lands available in Nigeria, and they need to map it up, and they need to know the crop zones they can use for each one. So if you have a land you are not using it, you have to submit it to government and get some benefit on it yearly, like the way we used to do in the past, that people rent your land and they pay commission at the end of the year, sorry, either by giving you farm proceed or by giving you money at the end of the, because a lot of people want to farm but they don't have access to land. A lot of people have land they are not using, and they don't have people to access to it. So that's a lot that they need to do in terms of policies, and they need to make a lot of money available. The most of the implements importing shouldn't be towards a particular person importing. They need to open the border that anybody that want to buy tractors, processing equipment pertaining to agriculture should come in and import whatever they want to do. So custom one of the main issues creating bottleneck in the area of agriculture in Nigeria, apart from the policies. The tractor they say they're doing for 5%. At times I pay up to almost 35% one time. So policies need to be looked into. Thank you.
Sir, for the sake of those that are actually watching, many do not hear the question, but what was.
Okay, the question he asked for was, what are the policies government can put in place so to make sure that we address the current situations? Yes.
All right, so we have a question from Mr. Aki. He's asking that from your experience, what do you think state government can do better to have immediate impact in food
Thank you.
production?
The state government should look for low-hanging fruit in each of their states, and they should do what we call a land development. Land development limits a lot of people to go into farming. Then some of the tractors they are bringing to the country are not really meant for all those operations. So they need to look for how to support people, not buying tractor for them, but the enabling environment is what the government needs to do. Government distributing fertilizer, herbicide, seed are not the way forward. But government should put enabling environment to support that even the people that want to get a viable seed, get all those things at a reduced price. So it will solve a lot of problems. So I think land development and government should make sure that the availability of tractor and implements are available for people to access. I noticed that a lot of people really want to do farming. A lot of people want to go into farming. And the issue of this insecurity, government should look to it. If they look at it, a lot of people are ready to do farming. Even a lot of people are in the diaspora really want to come back and do farming, serious farming. So those are the immediate things the government can look at. Look for the area, do land development, make sure that the availability of tractors are available. Either you invite some investors to come and have a system on how to do leasing arrangement for people, then do some road networks and then government should look at all those people collecting money on when you are transporting food products to the communities or to the city. They need always to stop it. So moving product from my farm to the city, I can pay as much as almost 35,000-50,000 on a truck. So which is supposed not to be in this era of problem crisis we're having. So thank you.
All right, someone is asking a question. He said, can we have private sector owned agro processing hubs in our local government areas? My women group in Ondo State are encouraging tilapia farming. We desire to have a cold room to preserve our harvest. We are willing to collaborate with such organizations that can help with cold room facilities. So this is the question, can we have private sector owned agro processing hubs in our local government areas?
I don't know who asked this question, but this is a very good question. This is what the government this is the part of the way the government is supposed to help. That's why I say, look at the low-hanging fruit in each of the region or local governments. If they want to be doing tilapia and they have a river and everything, the government can set up a cold room system. Not really setting up, encourage someone to set up, give electricity and everything to make sure that when they put the cold room will work 24 hours. You don't need to set up a cold room and buy generator to run it. It's not going to be profitable. That's what neighboring environment and government need to do, and make sure that the security is there to secure their tilapia farm. And you now look at the number of people that would, and put a training section there that People need to train on how to do tilapia and encourage another people to now set a factory to produce a feed for the tilapia. Those are all those things that government can actually support, not only support the system to do it. You know that people want to do tilapia, then encourage people to come and set up a co-room. Not them setting up a co-room, it's going to be a service provider setting up a co-room for them to actually use for it. So those are all those things that government will look at each of the local governments and know what can be done, what can be done properly, and support the people to do it. So it's a good one. So anybody that is interested in setting a co-room in Ondo should look at it as a business, and maybe later we'll be collecting some of the data of people who want to invest, and people need a kind of investors in their business, but the government need to intervene. It need to make sure that they create an enabling environment and do a system to merge them together. Thank you.
The person name that asked the person question is Oluwatomi Olatoye.
Okay.
All right. So we also have a question here that and what to actually improve or to increase profitability in the farming sector currently, what are the innovations or technologies that young entrepreneurs can actually adopt to actually increase yield and profitability?
To increase yield.
Yes, and profitability.
And you have a lot of systems that you need to do to increase yield. Firstly, when you want to increase yield, depend on the system you are adopting, you are using. It's not all our land that need a fertilizer, but people decide to say they want to use fertilizer, and the fertilizer does not even add anything to the soil because the soil has all the nutrients the land need to have. So adding fertilizer does not really translate in your yield. So that's number one. Then if you add fertilizer and your farming practice is not right, or if you add fertilizer at the wrong time, whereby you are not supposed to add, it won't work. So making an informed start is very important for people to say, for me to do a proper agriculture, I need to go and learn from someone that has done it in order to get a good yield. So what are the yield you are getting currently? What are yield I'm going to get? So some people may use greenhouses, some people may use net houses, and some people may use a drip irrigation with a degradable nylon. So you need to practice the three and look at the one that is more profitable. You don't just do it because other people are doing it and you want to do this. You don't just say you want to do cassava multiplication and you don't have market for the stems that you multiply. You don't just produce because you see people are producing, you must produce from the market. Those are all those things, innovation that you need to bring on in order to improve and to increase the yield of what you are doing. Then like some tomato now, you have some tomato that can give you 50 kg per square meter. You have some can give you just 10 kg per square meter. Which one are you going to plant? 50 kg. But if you plant 50 kg per square meter, do you have the market for the 50 kg? So if you spend X amount of money on the seed to get 50 kg, than using the same time to get 10 or 20 kg. So those are all those things that people need to know, that you can actually get tomatoes that can give you 50 kg per square meter, not just 10 or 20 other people are getting. You can get cassava that can give you almost between 30 to 40 tons per hectare, not really 10 or 15 people are getting. So those are the things that need to be sink into your mouth. So when you get it, what are the farm practice that you are going to adopt to make sure that you get the correct yield? So all those things need to be taught. That's why we tell them to say, it's not a thing we can discuss here, but they need to go and learn, either to volunteer or to learn or to go to different schools that can really teach them what to do. Thank you.
All right. Akim Omotayo sent a comment that I think he's trying to add to your points as regards the previous question, that state governments should immediately build access roads in the hinterlands. Access to good roads will not only improve agri productivity but check rural urban migration.
Yeah, thank you, my brother Omotayo. That's what we are saying now. So government needs to do what we call enabling environment. That's what government needs to do. Government giving all those, I've been telling it, and I'm saying times on, government gives all those fertilizer, all those things, we don't solve the problem. They've been giving fertilizer for more than almost 50 years. We still have problem. They've been giving seed for more than 50 years. We still have problem. But what the government needs to do is make sure that enabling environment is key. Some of the tractor and implement, Don't let the custom be making money on those things that can actually support the development of Nigeria. There are some things that government need to look at. When the Dubai want to develop, they look away from all the taxes and see what they are now. I think Nigeria government need to think and learn from Dubai to say, look away from all taxes. If you cannot provide X, Y, Z, look away from all taxes. Let people use the money they are generating to redevelop the system, and people can get more employment and more job. And that's what Akim Abatawe is saying. Do a lot of rural development and a lot of things, and then things will work well.
All right. Okay. We also have a comment from Adeoye Michael. He says access to affordable finance is key in view of rising NPR rates. It's important for de-risking institutions should be empowered, as is de-risking agriculture can make financiers reduce interest rates charged for loans. Cost of power has skyrocketed, so incentives for agribusiness owners should be looked into. No government achieve food security without incentives. What do you think about that last comment?
Yes, it's a good comment.
No government achieve
Yes,
food
no
insecurity
government
without.
achieve, yes. When you look at most of the countries that are producing food, when you go to other countries, you see that they have different pumps, diesel pumps, they have different colors. So the one the agric is using are different color and it's subsidized. So it's not the same diesel I'm using to do other business that people in agric are using. It's being subsidized. So they've subsidized all those cost of diesel in order to bring the cost of food down. And there's a lot of things the government subsidized in the areas to make sure the cost of food are actually reduced and easy. So that's why I say when the government do a lot of support in different areas, it makes a lot of people go into farming, and people will be able to farm profitably. And the issue of insecurity, government need to look into it. So those are some of the key things that government is supposed to look at for. So you have to reduce the cost of doing business when it comes to agriculture. The diesel we are going to use, all the implements we are going to use, everything needs to be subsidized. And when you look at the other country, people can lease tractor. So in Nigeria, you can't lease tractor, you have to buy. And the cheapest tractor in Nigeria is over 40 million. So I think those are the areas government need to look at. If truly they are looking for policies they want to use.
You want to balance sustainability at the same time profitability. How do we balance that in agribusiness?
It's more easy for you to balance. So when you talk of sustainability and profitability, there are some unnecessary overhead that you need to reduce. So there's some overhead on the farm, on the processing, you need to reduce. If you work on reducing we call them unnecessary overhead. So when you reduce the unnecessary overhead, the profitability setting, and you are going to make more money. The number of unnecessary overhead you reduce is your profit that you need to look out for. So that's very important. That's what people don't do. That when they keep on losing one naira every seconds, every minute, every day, at the end of the month, it turns to millions. You say, it's unprofitable. There's no aspect of farming that is unprofitable, even though the government are not supporting. The only thing we are doing now, when the government are not supporting, you see that when you produce things in Nigeria, it's much more expensive than what is being produced in the developed country. It's much more expensive. So because the profitability, you need to achieve it without reducing the unnecessary overhead, and you want the business to be sustainable. So continuity need to set into the business. And if you don't make the profit, then the business is not sustainable. Sustainability and profitability goes together. So when you are able to get your enough profit, then the business is sustained. But when you are not making profit, you cannot sustain your business. So that's why everything boils down to how best can you plan to actually reduce the unnecessary overhead. Then how best can you produce that emit the market price with the quality you are doing. So make it to be sustainable. So thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. How about when we look at them, there may be some factors that you may not be able to control, like some environmental factors, maybe unforeseen, as maybe as a result of maybe you have shortage of rainfall or something like that. Can there still a balance? Can there still be a balance?
Yeah, there can be a balance on that. You have to do the insurance on some of your farm, and you have a forecast on what to be planted and what not to be planted. You have some seed that are drought resistant. So once you know the rain pattern and you know the system you have, like for cassava now, you don't have any issues when you grow cassava. Either there's shortage of rainfall for another 4 to 5 months, the cassava will still survive. So that's number one. But when you are planting maize, you need to study the climate and know the time to plant the maize. Either you want to do late planting or you want to do early planting. But if you just think that you just assume the you are just planting, we normally have August break every year. So how long it's going to take, nobody knows. That's what is affecting. So there's August break in almost every year. So look for the August break and make sure that you you go along with the climate. So I think that was going to work. Majorly, some of the crops are good when you irrigate them. Some you cannot irrigate and make profit. So those are the things. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, sir. We have a question. Someone is asking, how do we reduce dependency on generators in agricultural production with epilepsy of power in Nigeria?
Well, most of my businesses are run on generators. I factor into the business. It makes the cost of business go up. So another thing you can do a solar system, which is a little bit capital intensive. But normally what the government can do is to create a kind of like a community whereby all the community, they realize that there's a program we did one time in Kenya that they want to do a like kind of mini grid to most of the community. I think they map out all the communities in Nigeria, and they want to do solar grid to some of the community in order to enhance and to support and to extend the active period. Most of the problem we have in Nigeria is that we have a limited active period. So that one will not allow us to grow. So activities are supposed to run for 24 hours. Money is supposed to exchange hand for 24 hours. But money is only exchanging hand for maybe 6 to 8 hours. So it limits us for a lot of things we are going to do because of this power. Even the community, the rural community, if they have power, the activities they go to bed around 5, 6 o'clock and extend to around 12. It makes the development to go high. So it's a good question on how to reduce the dependence on generator. When the diesel was still a little bit cheaper, people don't care. But now that the cost of diesel has actually gone up, it reduced a lot of profits. So what the government can do is to do rural electrification and to make sure that it works better. I think that's the only option we have. Apart from it, is you have the solar system that you have to engage in. So, but that one going to be individual. So, government need to support in that of reducing the cost on generator. If the country works well, we don't have any issue on using generator. Togo, Benin, they have a factory, they don't run generator in some of the neighboring countries. So, thank you, Mr. Okede. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for your question. So, someone is asking, what advice will you give to a young person who have an agribusiness idea but lack the initial capital and resources to actually get started?
That's a big question. Oh. Without money, you cannot do anything. But if you are passionate about agriculture, you can do it. What I need to tell you, to just look for a way to start small. Just start small. Either you work in a farm and you understudy what you are doing, and you've been paid monthly. So gradually you start your own little farm and you are farming. You need to start small and grow big. Don't just have it in your mind that you just want to grow big at once. You need to start small and grow big. So that's the advice I will give you. Or look for people of likely mind, people that are like you. Put your resources together and set up something to do. So it can only take you maybe 3 months for you to break even. So either you plant vegetables or you plant corn at the corn section. So by 3 months you start selling even the fresh one. So start realizing the money gradually, and you don't do only one product. Since you are coming up, do little product that you keep your time across the day, the month. So you don't have any intermittent production. You have the hour. So you are busy doing one thing or the other. And when the profit is coming, it's coming on a daily basis. So you can use that one to kickstart and to start your business. So then, thank you.
Thank you very much. We also can you encourage the person on community farming? Can the person engage in community farming or
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They put resources together like a community farming. Look for people of likely mind. They set up a system whereby you people can form a group and you farm together and you take it to the market. So I think that one is going to work.
all right, to actually wrap up the program, um, what is your vision for the future of entrepreneurship in Nigeria?
I think one of the one of the tools we have in Nigeria is agriculture, because people need to eat on a daily basis, and that's what the government need to look into. Make sure that we produce enough food. Make sure that we do a policy that will make people to produce more food, and make sure that you change the system of education we are running in Nigeria to make sure that people can really do farming at ease. And a lot of people that really want to do farming will not see it as a punishment. A lot of youth look at farming as a punishment now. So because government, that's part of government, what government need to do, create a lot of awareness, then put a lot of things in a system that people will need to look at farming as a business, right from secondary school, even right from primary school, secondary school, universities, up to all the tertiary, and they need to look farming as a business. So thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for your time, sir. We are gradually coming to the end of the show. So you can follow us on Instagram at Niji Agro Services. So just go to your Instagram page, type Niji NIJIAGROSERVICES at Niji
Agros.
Agro Services. Follow us on Instagram to have more updates about Niji Group in general, what we do, our product, our services. You can always get all those information up there. So, sir, do you have any final words before we conclude the show?
No, I don't have any final word. It's a continuous process that we started, and we want more people to be joining us. And most of the questions you really want to ask, you can send it to us, so we'll be able to get it at least answered before the next this or during the next episode. So it's going to be coming up almost every, I think every first Saturday of the month. So we've started, and let's see how we can support the government and the system with the little idea we have and with the new knowledge we have in making sure that people get it right. So thank you.
All right, thank you very much for staying with us on this edition of Breakfast with Niji. You can call us on 090-628-39889 if you have any inquiries on our product or service. You can also send us an email at info@nijigroup.com. Send us an email, info@nijigroup.com, if you have any inquiries on our products and services. My name remains Adiola Olajide. Thank you for having us.
So thank you, Mr. Deola.